let me get to this really quick about this one thing that is guaranteed to increase your sales. One thing. Okay. So it's amazing how if you stop doing one thing, you don't even realize that your sales declined and you lost money and you didn't know it. Or you start doing one thing and all of a sudden your sales conversions improve. So it's usually not a whole bunch of things that we're doing wrong or even a whole bunch of things that we're doing right. It's usually 3 or 4 things that we do well, 3 or 4 things that we do right that make us the most money, that improve our business the most, that go straight to the bottom line. So I was thinking about this the other day because somebody was saying something about, modernizing my business. And I said, you know what? I've never met someone who was struggling to get to $1 million. And the reason was because their business wasn't modern, right? I mean, I got to $1 million back before any of us were using computers in our business. I got to $1 million back when all of us were managing our schedules with pencil and paper. And so the problem isn't modernizing. The problem is not doing those proven strategies and methods that have been working for 25, 30, 50 years, right? Like Brian Tracy's organization, he's been training business owners now for about 50 years. And I promise you, the things that are broken in your business have nothing to do with modern or old fashioned. They have everything to do with not following proven strategies and methods. So what's the one thing that I have noticed that cleaning business owners are moving further and further away from? And they blame it on things like, well, nowadays, the way people do business is everybody's texting, or now we're dealing with millennials, and we adopt all these bad habits, is what I would say, that actually reduce our sales conversion. So here's one thing that I will tell you: if you change this or just improve it, if you're already doing it but you just improve it, this one thing will enable you to increase your sales. You will close more sales. What's that one thing? Going back to presenting your business to the prospect instead of just transacting with your prospects. So what do I mean by presentation or presenting your business? So back in the day when I hit my first $1 million in sales, that year was 1997. 1997, I hit my first $1 million in sales. Back then, nobody even had QuickBooks. It was Peachtree Accounting is what people were using, right? And that was mostly CPAs who could afford computers. None of us were really using computers much for our business back then, at least not in the maid service industry. And so back in the day, in 1997, when I hit my first $1 million, what was one thing that I did all the time where I had the highest close rate on sales? And that was in-home estimates. Back in the day. Now, I will tell you, don't worry, I'm not going to scare you away by telling you have to do in-home estimates. You don't have to do in-home estimates, but I want to help you understand the principle behind this closing tool. When you give prospects a presentation instead of take an order over the phone like a transaction, when you make a presentation, you're far more likely to build a relationship, win their trust, and prove why you're different and why you're worth it, especially if you're charging more than your competition. Now, if you're still competing on price, then you really can have a sloppy presentation, or you can just transact. If you're still competing on price, if you're still the lowest priced provider, or you're still undercharging, then presentations are not as relevant because they're actually buying your service based on your price instead of on your credibility, instead of based on your authority, instead of based on trust and experience, right? So how is it that I can be one of the highest price consultants in our industry? Because people don't work with me because, oh, she's a bargain. People work with me because I have the best track record of proof of creating Mott-Free millionaires. I mean, we had 33 Mott-Free millionaires standing on my stage back in April, getting their green jacket at CBF Live. And that represent $33 million standing on that stage, right? So how can I be one of the highest priced consultants out there and people still buy from me? Because when people know you, when you make a presentation, when you show this is why we're worth it, this is why we're different, it's no longer about price for the customer. All of a sudden, the customer wants to work with your company because they want what you have to offer. They want the results and the peace of mind and the safety and the expertise that only your company can give them assurances of. And then they're not buying from you based on price. And so the number one thing you can do to help you win more sales from cold lead to winning the sale is making presentations. Now, however you define presentations is going to be different for each person. If your company is really small and you don't have a lot of customers yet, you should still be out in those homes doing live in-home estimates, connecting with those buyers, building a relationship face-to-face, one-on-one, where they feel like, wow, you get me. You understand clean. You understand how picky I am about this. You understand how nervous I am about my pet. And if they're going to be careful with my animals, or they're going to be careful with my expensive wood floors or my expensive furniture. If your business is small, the very best way to win permanent, long-term, top-paying, repeat customers is in-home estimates. Don't let somebody who has a tiny business tell you that that's an outdated method. It's not outdated. Now, it may be a method you outgrow. I hope you outgrow that method like my company did years ago. We outgrew in-home estimates. It's just not possible. We do about 400, we get about 400 leads a month, and we sell about 100 to 75 to 100 first-time cleans every month. There's no way we can go out and do all those estimates, right? Because you don't win every estimate you do. So that means we would have probably gone out and done 150 estimates or more, right? So we outgrew in-home estimates, but have you? So the in-home estimate is your greatest opportunity to make your strongest sales presentation. Now, if you outgrow that, then you have to be much better at making an incredible presentation to the prospect over the phone. Now, you can do this with Zoom, not necessary, but you can. But I'm talking more about not just taking an order over the phone. That's not a presentation. So if you're just on the phone saying things like, yes, I can give you a price. How many square feet do you have? How many bathrooms do you have? And do you have pets? And do you have wood floors? Okay, that will be $150 biweekly, right? That is not a presentation. That's a transaction. You're far more likely to lose the sale if you charge more than your competitors if all you do is transact. Instead, you have to make a presentation. Now, again, when your company is small, your best presentations are made face-to-face. You'll get the sale 80% of the time if you can get your foot in the door and show them why they should do business with you. But once you outgrow that, and it's just not possible, you can't keep up with the growth and the volume, and you have to give a presentation over the phone. So when I say give a presentation over the phone, take them through a journey with you on the phone. Don't just be an order taker like you work at McDonald's, right? You know, would you like fries with that? Right? Would you like a large Coke with that? No, don't just take an order over the phone. Do a presentation. Hi, by the way, my name is Debbie and I'm the owner. What do you know about our business? Oh, you don't really, you're new to the area. You don't know much about us. Great. Let me just tell you a little bit about our company. Hey, I'm not talking price. I'm talking about history. It's like, what do you know? Tell me, what do you already know about our company? Right? Now, if you've been around a while and they've been around a while, they might tell you something, right? But ask that question. because you're about to make a presentation, not just take an order. So ask that question. They might volunteer. Oh, I've seen you on Facebook. I know that you're that company that does the cancer cleanings for cancer patients. And then you're like, oh yes, we're a part of Cleaning for a Reason. That's a nonprofit. And we do provide free house cleaning to our sweet families in our community that have cancer, right? It's like, well, let me tell you a little bit more about our company. Right. So, by the way, I'm the owner and my husband's a retired police officer. So, security is like top priority with our company. It's one of the most important things to us is to keep your home safe and secure. So, when you do business with us, you know that that's a number one priority. But also, we've been in business for, maybe you're 10 years or whatever. Our answer would be 40. We've been in business for over 40 years. We've been right here in this community, serving our community for nearly 40 years. I actually started out doing the cleaning myself, and I now have one of the largest maid services in the country. And our employees love what they do. They're carefully trained and thoroughly background checked. We have the best training program in the world. And we take great care in making sure that anyone that we send to your home is thoroughly screened and trained and professionally trained, and they're friendly and they love what they do. We also can come out and see your home if you'd like a more accurate quote, but based on some of the information I'd like to get from you here in a minute, I can give you a price for regular every other week service or even weekly service. What do you think you're interested in after your first time clean? Right? And so you're having a conversation with them. Oh, well, I might be interested in every other week service. We've thought about that. Great. Well, I can help you with a quote for the first time cleaning as well as for your every other week service. Let me just ask you a few questions about your home, right? So you're making a presentation. You're not just saying, great, how many square feet, how many bathrooms, how many pets? You're building relationship. You're establishing why you're different. We've been rated number one in Denton County for over 12 years in a row. Our customers love our service. We have a 96.5% satisfaction rate with our customers. And if you've ever checked out our Google ratings, we have over 379 Google reviews, and our score is 4.8. Stars at any given time. So we really are number one in our area, and we pride ourselves on quality and the type of people that we assign to your home. Now, let me see if I can work up a price for you. Right now, you can start talking money. Now you can start talking about square footage and number of bathrooms, and do you have hardwood floors or do you have carpet? Now you can begin a little bit into the transactional mode, but you need to make a presentation. The best presentations are in person. The second best presentations, not just order taking, is over the phone. Here's the biggest mistake you can make. And people blame this on, well, I'm a modern business and we're dealing with modern people, millennials and all this baloney. Do not try to talk to people through text. So when people send you a private message on Facebook or they have your text for whatever reason, don't try to quote people through a text. Your text can respond. You can send a text back that says, oh, I'd love to give you a quote for your home. What's your phone number? I'd like to give you a quick call. I have a few questions to ask, right? You never give, if you're giving people quotes via text and you haven't talked to them, you're transacting. You are not presenting. So if somebody has your phone number, if somebody has your number and they're texting you, whether it's your business line, they're texting you through your business channels, your voice over IP or your Google phone, or they're texting you by instant messenger on Facebook. However, you never give them a price through text. That's just a transaction. You simply say, oh, I'd love to talk with you about your home and give you an accurate quote. What's your phone number? Don't say, can I call you? That's a yes or no question, right? If you say, can I call you? You've just asked a yes or no question. And the answer half the time is going to be, no, just give me a price here. Don't ask a yes or no question. Simply ask, what is your phone number? That's not a yes or no question. That is, what is your phone number? I'd love to talk to you about your home and give you a price. What is your phone number? Really, the only answer back is, here's my phone number, or maybe, well, I don't want to talk to you, right? But most people don't do that. If you ask, what's your phone number? They'll give it to you. If you ask, can I have your phone number, or can I call you? Half the time they'll say, no, just text me the information, right? No. If you give them a price through an email or through Messenger or through a text, you are transacting. You are not presenting. And you will be competing on price alone in that case. You will close a higher number of your leads at the highest price point possible if you make a presentation on the phone instead of make a transaction through email, text, or Facebook Messenger or a chat bot, right? So make presentations. Go out and do an in-home estimate if it's a prospect for repeat service. If you can. If your business has outgrown that method, then make sure you get very strategic about doing presentations over the phone. In fact, one of the topics we're covering on Thursday, a week from 2 days from now, on June 23rd, one of the topics we're covering is presentations, right? The difference between transactions and presentations. So many people have gotten away from making presentations. My team, we've got 3 people in the office that are doing sales. Our team makes presentations over the phone. Now, when we can, like on the house check, on the first time clean, we make it a point for the quality assurance manager to go out and in person, make an in-person presentation when they're doing the house check, right? So in the house check, if we can, and she's out there already checking and the homeowner is home on that first time clean, then she has an opportunity to present by saying, hey, walk through the house with me. Let's double check together, make sure everything is okay. Great. By the way, since you're happy with everything they did, we do have every other week service. Let me tell you about that, right? So now she has a face-to-face opportunity to cinch the sale. Now that doesn't always happen. But when you can, that's that second opportunity to present your company instead of transact, right? A transaction is simply, great, does everything look okay? Awesome, glad you're happy, thanks. Call us when you need us, right? That's a transaction. A presentation is, let me tell you a little bit about our company if you go with every other week service, right? And this is what it looks like. And we schedule mornings and afternoons, and we're happy to take your key or take your lockbox code, and we can come while you're at work. You don't have to be here when we clean. We happen to have every other Wednesday with Gloria, who's here today, the team leader. Make a presentation. People will fall in love with your company because you're more professional. You care about them. You're building trust. You're actually building a relationship. And then call them the next day and follow up with them and make sure they were thrilled with the cleaning, right? So you're still presenting the whole time until they give you a definite, yes, I want to be your next every other week customer. You're building a relationship. You're presenting how professional your company is. You're not just transacting, right? Here's a transaction on the follow-up. You just send them a text. How is everything? Please review us on Google, right? That's just a transaction. You couldn't pick up the phone. They're worth $3,200 a year to your company. You couldn't pick up the phone the next day and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you were thrilled with everything we did yesterday. Did we disappoint you in any way? Is there anything we need to correct, or is everything to your complete and total satisfaction, right? Or did you just send a text? You never call. A text asking for a review, right? Are you transacting or are you presenting? Present your best foot forward. Present how amazing your service is and how worth it your prices are. Present that, and you will never compete on price again. This is the number one thing that people get away from. I talk to business owners who say, I need, my camera's a little low, isn't it? I talk to business owners who literally only give bids and quotes through an email. They never talk to anybody. Well, guess what? You're always going to compete on price. You're just going to be compared with, well, they're 40 an hour and you're 50 an hour, right? You've got to make presentations. I'm going to keep messing with my camera here. Sorry about that. You have to make presentations. All right. So I haven't been answering some of the comments. So let me pull up my feed and see what you guys are saying. Oh, thank you, Angel. Angel says, great stuff. Thank you as always. And Angel, these guys have a big business. They have $1 million cleaning company. And so really large companies, you're in the greatest vulnerability for some of these things to dissolve into transactions, right? Because the bigger your company gets, the more likely we're just like we're a phone mill, right? It's like, oh, great, got another lead. How many square feet? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Okay, this is the price. Oh, okay. Well, let me know if you change your mind. Click, right? All of a sudden, because we're more busy, because we are getting tons of leads, we don't take the time anymore to slow down and present our best foot forward to those leads, right? And so the biggest companies are oftentimes at the greatest jeopardy for letting this fall. Let's see what Courtney says. Courtney says, I have been transactional lately. In the beginning, I was very personal and it was just me. Exactly, Courtney. So the bigger your company gets, the harder it is to not become transactional, right? So, and especially when you hear people who own tiny companies tell you you need to be more modern, right? And so now it's like, oh, you have to automate this and you have to automate that. And, it's old fashioned to make phone calls, send a text for everything, right? You will destroy your opportunities for growth. In fact, it's the tiny companies that are doing that kind of stuff, right? As a big company, you will not see your sustained growth if you lose that personal touch. Now, you have to find ways as your company gets so big. Of course, we have to automate things. I mean, we have automatic texts that go out. We have automatic reminders that your cleaning is tomorrow. We have automatic texts that go out that says, please rate your service. Of course, we use that technology, but we do not use it as a crutch. We do not use it as instead of following up by phone with a caring voice that says, oh, I'm so happy you were thrilled with everything. I just so happen to have her available every other Wednesday starting next Wednesday. Would you like to be on her schedule? You can cancel anytime, right? You're going to win the sale. How many people have not won my sale because they just didn't follow up with me in person? They sent me a text, right? I mean, I do business in my community all the time for different things. You know who gets my repeat business? The people who send me texts and phone calls. They don't just remind me through a text, but they call and follow up when I didn't follow through, right? When I didn't follow through, they followed up, right? It's easy to remind for me to ignore people, right? So if you're not winning the highest close rate that you should be winning, make sure you have not become transactional once again, because that's just so tempting. So Eric says text and emails are great for building your distribution list, but not for closing the sale. Exactly. We want to automate the follow-up. We want to automate reaching out to the leads that got away. We want to drop them into an email automation when we called them and they never called us back, right? So they were like a dead end lead. Great, dump them into an email automation. But boy, the minute they answer my email with, yeah, I think I'm interested, don't send them a quote. Send them a note that says, awesome, I'll give you a call. What's the best time, right? Or awesome, or call them right then. Right? If you get the email, it's like, great, I'll call you right now. Perfect. Right? The temptation is they answer your email automation with, yes, I'd like to schedule service. And now you're, oh, how many square feet? How many bedrooms and bathroom? Oh, I think the price will be this. No, great. I'll give you a quick call. What's the best number to reach you at? Great. I'll give you a quick call. I just left a message. What's a better time to call you back? Right? Get them on the phone if you want to win the sale at the highest price point. If you don't want to compete on price alone. Some prospects contact 4 to 6 companies to get better prices. So sometimes the only thing they are interested in price. Yeah, well, a person who's only interested in price is not your prospect. But I'm going to challenge your thinking here. And when everyone is competing on price, you're right. The customers are just shopping around on price. So how many times have I gone out on an in-home estimate back in the day when I was doing those estimates, and somebody said when they let me in the door, well, now I have 2 other bids I'm getting. And I left with the key and the credit card. How many times do you think that's happened, right? So people are only price shopping when you are only competing on price, right? And so when somebody calls you and they're like, I just need a price, you don't have to obey them. You don't have to say, oh, okay, how many square feet, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? Okay? You can still make a presentation. And then after you've made your presentation and you give them the price and they're like, oh, okay, thanks, I'm just shopping around. Okay, that was a price shopper, right? But if you make a good presentation, they will stop shopping around. They will have finally heard something different than that one who said they're 35 an hour and this one who said it's 110 to clean, right? They will stop shopping around if they're the right candidate. In other words, if they're the kind of person that makes their purchases based on value, you can close the sale right there on the phone. We've done it hundreds and hundreds of times. Guarantee you Erica's done it. So I'm going to challenge your thinking that as long as you're transacting, then yeah, they're just looking for the cheapest price. But the minute you make a different presentation, I guarantee you those cheap competitors that literally sell on price, they don't know how to make a presentation. And so they can't even compete with you when you do, when you know how to make a presentation. They can't even compete with you. It's just not possible. Let's see here. We don't give a price. We always give a presentation. Maybe that is why I can close sales so easily. Absolutely. I mean, eventually you have to give a price. Nobody can buy from you without a price, but price has to be last. Presentation has to come first. Answering all of their concerns, answering all of their questions, all of that comes first, right? Price is last. That is the very last thing, because by the time you get to price, if you've done a good job with a presentation, they kind of don't care what the price is, unless it's absurd, right? Now, I'm not talking about absurd pricing, but none of you have that problem, right? Most people are undercharging, not overcharging. So for the most part, it is no longer about price, even if it was originally. Simple growth. I love the knowledge. Thank you. I think that's Mike. Is that Mike on there? I haven't seen you in ages, my friend. Is that Mike Callahan? It's so tiny on my phone, I can't really tell. But reveal yourself if that's Mike. I miss you if that's Mike. Let's see here. It's funny, Mike. If that's you, it says simple growth, so I think it's Mike. If that's you, I think your ears were burning because I was actually thinking about you this weekend. Isn't that weird? I was like, yeah, I miss Mike. I haven't talked to him in ages. Let's see here. Did I miss anything? Thank you. Somebody said, great talk, Debbie. So I just want to encourage you that you can win the sale at the highest price point. You don't have to compete on price. You never have to really worry about what other people are charging when you get better and better and better at presenting instead of transacting. This one thing alone can improve your conversion rates. Imagine if you converted just 10% higher than you are right now. Just 10% higher. I don't know what your conversion rate is. Maybe you convert 40% of the people on the phone. Now, if you're already converting 70 or 80% of the people, I guarantee you you're definitely priced below market value. So you shouldn't be giving yourself away at a bargain if you're worth more. But maybe your conversion rate is 40%. Imagine if you improved your sales skills and you raise your conversion rate by 10%. Okay. I guarantee you will 10x that $397 investment in sales success. You'll 10x it probably in a year with converted sales. I mean, imagine if your sales improved and you just won 10 more clients that became regular repeat clients in a year. 10 more. For most of us, That's $32,000 in annual revenue. If I won 10 more recurring clients, because recurring client will average spending about $3,200 a year, every year with you. If I won 10 more clients in the year, or my sales team was able to convert 10 more people than they would have lost, right? Because I improved my sales skills, 10 people in a year is $32,000 in revenue. What's it worth to you to spend a whole day fine-tuning your sales and presentation skills? What's that worth to you? And if you've handed off your sales to someone else, whether it's a VA or an employee or an office manager, whoever you've handed your sales off to, what's it worth to you to improve their sales skills? I am telling you, sales are the lifeblood of our business. And as we come into a recession, as we enter, our economy is about to enter into a recession, you cannot afford to pay for leads that you don't convert. I mean, we're already not going to convert everybody who calls us because, yes, some people call and for them it is just about price, right? So I already know I can't convert every lead. So I don't want to lose the ones I could have converted because I had no presentation skills, because my sales skills were weak. And going into a recession, I need every customer that I can win. All right, guys, that's really all I had. I just had a bee in my bonnet around sales skills and presentations. So I'm not seeing all of these on my StreamYard, but I do see Susie posted a comment and she said, Susie says, we don't, oh, that was Susie. We don't just give a price. We always give a presentation. Yes. Thank you, Susie. And Katerina. So I'll just say hello to a few people and then I'll sign off. Thanks, Eric, for always being on here. Let's see here. Courtney, Sean Cube is watching. Hi, Sean. Karen is in the house. Hey, Christine News. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not the new CBF member. Let's see here. Thank you for posting the DebbieSardoneTraining.com link. I see the hearts. Thank you, guys. Let's see here. What else? Okay, I just want to make sure I recognize everybody. I never intentionally forget to say hello to people. I see Coach Jamie Reeder is on here. Now, Coach Jamie Reeder, in her previous life before maid service, right? Before she owned, and now she has a $1 million plus maid service, and she's one of our certified CBF coaches. That's what she did for a living. She made her living in sales. So when I remember doing our consult back, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago when I first met her. And she went through my original like one-on-one CBF program. I remember knowing she was going to succeed as a cleaning business owner, even though she had no cleaning experience, because she had advanced sales skills. And so Coach Jamie totally understands the advantage you have in this industry if you have sales skills. I don't care how good you clean. How good do you sell? Right? How good do you sell? Now, keeping the customer, now that's a different matter. You better know how to clean. You better have well-trained employees. You better have incredible systems and great follow-up processes. Those are all come from systems that we teach in CBF, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. But I always knew Jamie would succeed when she bought this business like 12 years ago because sales skills were her strength. So she already came to the table with sales skills. And I believe Coach Jamie has gone through our sales success program as well. It's just the best sales training program that I'm aware of in the residential cleaning industry. I've never seen anything comparable. So we love it at CBF, and it is open to any of you that want to register. So DebbieSardoneTraining.com, go get registered. I will see you. You'll spend the whole day with me and Art Lock next Thursday, June 23rd, 8:30 a.m. to about 4 p.m. Yes, it's worth your time. Yes, you'll have a 30-day replay in case you have to step away from your desk and deal with business, right? So you will have a 30-day replay, right? Yes, she says, love sales. Thank you, Debbie. And yes, I've gone through them. I thought you were. And it's an amazing training program. And that's coming from somebody who already had advanced sales skills, right? And she loves this training. So guys, Can't wait to see you next Thursday. Can't wait to spend the day with you. CBF members, love you guys. We'll see you on the other side. Take care. Have a great night. I think there's a glass of wine with my name on it. I'm going to go find it. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.